With this session update, I'm Shannon Lurkey. COVID-19 restrictions made it difficult for counties to safely process marriage applications in person, and the law change that allowed for remote processing expires on January 15th. Members of the Senate Civil Law and Data Practices Policy Committee debated the first bill of the session, one that would extend the sunset date for remote processing of marriage licenses. Here are some highlights.
Senate File 26 is in regards to the remote marriage application extension that we currently have in light of a pandemic status in the state of Minnesota. Under existing law, or under state statute 517.08, at least one person from a couple must be present at a local registrar to apply for a marriage license. And in 2020, the Association of Minnesota Counties requested the authority during the COVID pandemic to perform remote application for marriage licenses. Otherwise, marriages that were intended to happen may not happen if we didn't have that. We granted that authority through the peacetime emergency with a sunset, thinking that the pandemic emergency would expire by now, but we placed a sunset date of January 15th of this year. So that's only 3 days away. We weren't quite sure when that pandemic would end, but I think a lot of people didn't think it would go this long. This bill simply allows this authority to be extended to the end of May of this year, May 2020, or whenever the peacetime emergency ends, whichever would be sooner. Should we not quite yet have the bill done and signed by the governor by January 15th, the bill does recognize a retroactive date to cover any gap that would follow after the 15th.
I'm not interested in extending it just to facilitate the governor to wrongfully keep his emergency powers in place and subvert the legislative process. And for that reason, I don't want to see us extending things. We need to be rather having the governor and encouraging him to work with the legislature, relent on his emergency powers that are not being used as most every legislator that passed the bill would have intended or thought they were going to be used for immediate short-term emergencies. And we're in session for 5 months. We can work with the governor on anything that's an emergency while we're here in session through May.
This bill is not a request from the governor's administration. This is requested by the Association of Minnesota Counties, who are the administrators of our public policy regarding the filing of marriage licenses and registration thereof. They're simply giving us a reminder and maybe even a little bit of a warning that if we don't extend the sunset, people will not be able to get married because they won't have the opportunity to seek a marriage license unless they are in person. Now, maybe out in your county, they can do that. But in Hennepin County, and I would assume other areas of the state, and mostly the metropolitan area, our deputy registrar offices are not open to the same for the same volume now during the pandemic. We're simply buying some time in order to keep those who want to get married to get their license so they can go ahead and fulfill that promise to each other.
I think the fact that we are having this hearing 3 days before the expiration of this bill's deadline illustrates in part the folly of relying upon the legislature's ability to act instantaneously or even super quickly when during urgent needs to pass things. We are going to be confronting on the bigger scheme of things a lot of changes in the way government does business as a result of this pandemic. And I think many of us have seen downsides, but a lot of people, especially the public, businesses, consumers, have found an enormous value in convenience and the speed with which transactions can take place, whether it's e-commerce or whether it's government services. And this pandemic has forced a lot of companies and local agencies as well, government agencies, to make modifications in their process. And I think we have to be farsighted and open enough to these changes to welcome them with, of course, appropriate guardrails as we evaluate what to make permanent, what not to make permanent.
I've been informed that the House committee passed this bill in its present form, and they moved it to the House floor.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID relief bill allowed Minnesota counties the flexibility to process marriage license applications with traditional face-to-face appointments, or to use or to process the applications remotely using technology and/or mail. Traditional face-to-face appointments provide a high-touch service. However, in these difficult times, we have many applicants that have been physically unable to travel or come to in-person appointments due to various COVID-19 related restrictions. Although remote processing takes a little longer to process than face-to-face applications, it allows us to meet customer demand and eliminate the potential spread of COVID-19 as it continues to be a public health threat. Hennepin County has processed close to 4,500 remote marriage license applications since April, and we've processed those in a safe and a secure manner. In Hennepin County, remote marriage license applications include a notarized statement confirming their information along with their identification. In mid-December, a group of 8 Minnesota counties gathered to review what each county was doing to process marriage license applications. When we finished, the consensus was that each county processes marriage license applications to suit the needs of their residents and the counties. Some counties are appointment only. Some counties are appointment and remote processing, such as Hennepin County, and other counties are only remote processing. This extension is also endorsed by the AMC as well as AMCO.
We are fully open to the public, but we still have instances where doing a remote application is convenient for our client. And yes, we would like to see this extension and possibly further on down the line, a permanent solution.
I move Senate File 26 be recommended to pass and be moved to the Senate floor.
Is his motion that Senate File 26 be recommended to pass and be placed on general orders and sent to the Senate. I'm going to try to do the same as well. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye and a thumbs up.
Aye.
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 Signify no with a thumbs down. All right, the motion prevails and the committee is on its way to the floor.